Hello and welcome. This is going to be an astrology compatibility video between Capricorn and Pisces, or Pisces and Capricorn, whichever is your viewpoint for this video. Now, we have Capricorn ruled by Saturn and Pisces ruled by Neptune. So we've got the planet of limitations and time and the slow evolution with the planet of daydreaming and stopping to smell every single petal on every single rose. And also the sign of well, I was just thinking, it's a sign of spirituality and magic, and ironically, Saturn does have a lot of that, and karma has a very magical element. It's good and it's bad. But Capricorn ruled by Saturn is all about paying up your debts and doing things right the first time and living authentically. Whereas Pisces, it's funny because Pisces is very authentic, but they often get confused for being deceptive. And part of that is just the nature of a water sign, but also it's part of being ruled by Neptune. They often find themselves in a dream world, and that can actually be quite attractive between Capricorn and Pisces, especially if you both have enough placements that really bring in a focus between like music and art and connection with nature. However, Pisces and Capricorn tend to be very opposite in their level of neediness. Pisces typically, how do I even put it? I mean, they're fish. They're almost kind of related to Gemini in that they have a duality about them that is, they can be very, very moody, and ironically consistent in that moodiness, and there's not a problem with that. It's not a judgment, and it's actually very beautiful. I know a lot of folks who are Pisces, and they're friends of mine, and I love their emotional range. Because as a Capricorn, ironically, we get pegged as not having very much emotions. It's really not that. It's just that our life path, whether we're speaking towards the sun in Capricorn or other placements in there, it's just we get very, very trained and conditioned to not reveal our emotions and to not rely on our emotions as the way to lead us. They have a value and they are important, but they are not the dominant thing, and we tend to rely more so on, I don't want to say empirical logic, because Capricorn is actually a dual sign. It's not actually a sea goat as you see depicted, like this mermaid goat. It's actually that we start out as a fish, kind of like Pisces, but we grow and we evolve and we become a goat who climbs up to the mountain and overlooks the deep ocean from where we came. And a lot of times we just get to this point to where it's like, I mean, emotions they're incredibly valuable and they can bring on so many wonderful experiences, but there's just not so much need to be so involved in what other people think, nor to perceive everything from a level of, this is how I feel about it. Like, I might recognize that something that someone else did was hurtful to me, it felt hurtful to me, but I also enjoy recognizing that it's much easier to say, I recognize that they didn't mean to hurt me and that they're probably doing that because they have some internal challenges with self-love or anxiety or things of that nature. And typically Pisces, even in an evolved state, has a very hard time with not caring about what other people think. They're the caretakers. They're one of the caretakers of the zodiac, and I think that's beautiful, and it's all needed. We all, in fact, the irony is, as Capricorn, we are the social architects, and we recognize that each sign and each energy has its place and its need and its time and things like that. But typically, as Capricorns, we're just not emotional enough for a Piscean, and Pisceans are typically far too emotional for us. Now, it doesn't mean that there is no compatibility in there, and because you're a few signs apart, there is more of it. But you'll probably find, as a Capricorn, that you probably don't really want to hold the emotional space that a Piscean will show you when they really feel safe and let you in. And then you're going to feel bad because you know that they really do deserve it. They are total sweethearts. You guys, Pisceans, are absolute sweethearts, and you do deserve to have that space held. but it's just not in the prerogative of a Capricorn to spend that much time in emotions anymore. When we're young, yeah, but as we grow and mature, it's kind of like, I love that, but I just don't want to spend time on that. And as Pisceans, you will probably find yourself more caught up in feeling like, does my Capricorn really care about me? Like, they get kind of, they're like weird hermit mode, and they're constantly focused on work, and, you know, they seem to care about social causes and things, but they also don't. And what does it mean when they're quiet like this versus when they're quiet like that? And are they mad at me, or are they not mad at me? Like, if I did that, if someone did to them, or if someone did to me what I did to them, I would be mad, I would be upset, I would be in my emotions. So why are they so cold and distant? In any case, Capricorn and Pisces can have really strong relationships, especially if as a Capricorn you've really learned to value the emotional space holding that someone with Piscean traits can hold, because Capricorns, we really want to have emotional space held for us, and we want to be more emotional. We just often don't feel, we get locked between not feeling that it is necessary, and also we get locked into kind of this desire to keep climbing the social ladder, and it just feels like it will hold us back. But we want to be able to come home and be vulnerable with somebody and not feel like we're going to be perceived to be weak because we have emotions too. Like when we show them, oftentimes in the life path, especially of a Capricorn sun, is that people get so used to us being the rock, the emotional rock that is there and caring and graceful. But then if we spin out, or we have a moment where we are not as graceful, then people freak out about it and they get upset because now we're freaking out. And if we're the emotional rock, oh my gosh, what are they supposed to do, right? Likewise, if you as a Piscean have learned to recognize and kind of observe your own emotional cycles, and you can have faith in your Capricorn that they're not going to leave you or abandon you, especially if you've got someone with Capricorn and Venus. Like, they're very loyal. I have that too. We're like swans, you mate for life, and you're always there, you always come back. But you learn to not take the distance or the hermit time or the shell time as like a personal attack, or like we're not loving on you, things like that we just need to recharge a little bit. A lot of us we're introverted extroverts, so we can be very social, we can be very present, very romantic, and we need that social interaction, but we still need our private alone time to contemplate things and recharge. And so if the two of you can recognize your differences in that, it can be a really beautiful relationship. But it does come with a fair amount of contrast, and you're going to have to want to be willing to learn to have faith and to really work on your own self-love and self-healing, and not require validation from each other in order to make a relationship work between a Capricorn and a Piscean. Alright, if you like this video, please share, like, subscribe, do whatever you like, and I'll catch you in the next video.